All right, the best tight end in the NFL is actually now setting a new standard. Not how to play on the field, but how to structure your finances as an athlete. I'll explain coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, mistakes are often life's best lessons, right? And so to me, I tried to learn as much as possible from other people's mistakes so that I can get the lesson without all the pain. Okay, so hopefully that's why you're listening to this channel. Hey, what can I learn and apply without having to go through some painful lessons myself? Well, in my opinion, the best tight end in the NFL, Travis Kelce. Did you pick him for your fantasy team? I did not. I already regret it. I did pick up Gronk though, so anyway, I got that going for me. But Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the NFL, in my opinion, or at least the most offensively minded tight end, or has been for the past several years. And yet he recently shared a painful financial lesson that he went through. And of course, he had the financial means to make up for it as long as he learned the lesson. Let's get into it. So about 5-6 years ago, Travis Kelce was a rookie and signed a good contract. Okay, so he $3.1 million and a $700,000 signing bonus. I mean, any of us would just kind of salivate over receiving all of that income for, an initial contract right up front to start your career. And you'd think, well, geez, financially, problem solved, you're just fine. Well, he shared in a recent interview, he was basically broke. He spent all that money. He spent all the money from his rookie contract. He had the Rolexes. He had the amazing Nike shoes, the ones that you saw in Back to the Future. Nike made those. I don't know if you know that, but there's, thousands of dollars for this pair of shoes. Well, apparently Travis Kelce had him. He had 300 pairs of shoes. And so anyway, he was living it up. And, externally, everyone said that's the high life. And this guy, obviously, he's got, contract worth millions. He's doing great. He was broke. He came home to an empty apartment that he could barely afford. He was barely paying rent for his apartment. How is that possible if you make $3.1 million your rookie year and get a signing bonus of $700,000? Very, very different view of finances. And then he got a wake-up call, thankfully. And not all of us, not all of us will make that much even in our lifetime, let alone at one time as almost barely an adult, okay? He obviously had the financial means, was performing on the field, and got a contract then, an extension, I think 50 some million dollars. But it wasn't that, because here's one of the lessons. It's not just how much you earn, it's your behavior, it's what you do with it. I mean, that's what this demonstrates to me. That's the takeaway for all of us, because I think any of us would say, gosh, if someone just threw $3.8 million in my lap, and yeah, I had to give a bunch of it to Uncle Sam, a bunch of it to an agent, but if I got, a chunk of that, I'd be fine. And he wasn't. He wasn't, because there was a distortion between what that money should be able to do for him for his lifestyle and what he should do with that money first. So apparently he was watching some, basically ESPN's got a reality series, 30 for 30, and learned some lessons there by watching some other athletes going broke financially. Apparently they did a 30 for 30 on some of that, how guys in the league were going broke. And so he watched that, was kind of reflecting on his own pain and painful experience, and said, I got to make a change. And so what was the change that he made? He said, very first thing was, hired a money manager is what he called it. I call it a certified financial planner. Hired a certified financial planner and basically had the money directed to that trusted individual. If you read more in the link here, he was like, hey, don't steal from me. I got to trust you. Don't steal from me. That sort of thing, which is, your qualifications, the qualifications that you're looking for a certified financial planner need to be well above that, right? But all the money then got directed to the certified financial planner. Certified financial planner said, basically, here's what we're gonna save this, we're gonna set this money here, we're gonna do this, and then you're gonna live on that. Okay, you're going to live on a portion of this. We're going to put the first thing. We're going to do the first things first, and set the right amount of money aside for you for your future and your goals, and then you'll just live on this. And he even says in here, occasionally I like to splurge, and so I talk to my CFP, I talk to my money manager, see if and when and how I can do that. But he also then talks about the power of having your money make money. And that to me was something that captivated me between going into the 7th grade. I'll tell this story in a different video, but when I first took a couple $100s and put it in a CD and got my statement to see the interest I was earning, I was amazed. Even though it was pennies, I was amazed that my money, just by not spending it, by my money making money. That was unbelievable. And so hopefully you're captivated by that too, just like I was, just like Travis Kelce was. And you can learn from some of his mistakes here, even though you don't have those same financial means. All right, so what's the takeaways? Other than this is kind of neat, okay? The takeaway to me, I already shared it, the number one, is oftentimes the gap between you having financial freedom and you living in financial bondage isn't income. It often isn't. Now, sometimes it is, okay? Sometimes you do need to get that extra job and get more overtime or work more hours or change jobs, change careers, build more skills, something like that. Sometimes it is income, but oftentimes it isn't. The gap between financial freedom and financial bondage typically isn't income, it's behavior change. And how do we change our behavior? Many times it's obviously changing our habits, changing our, what we do on a regular basis, but it's also changing our thinking. And Travis Kelce, he had his thinking change when he saw other guys struggling, or a documentary of other guys struggling, said, I don't have this skill, I don't have the desire, I don't have the time to do this, but let me hire someone that does. And I'm going to have this person help guide me through. That's a Sherpa, that's a certified financial planner. So I talk about to you every single day. So that's likely, in my opinion, the biggest takeaway from this story. The second big takeaway is it is dangerous to play the compare game. It's dangerous to try to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, every time I saw Travis Kelce, he would have a gold chain around his neck. And you'd say, well, that's not unique for athletes. I know, but he likely, I believe, was getting caught up in the lifestyle, the impression that he needed to make because I've made it. So all the nice shoes, the Rolexes, all this sort of stuff, the flashy stuff. And yeah, I mean, he has a unique skill that pays him a lot of money, but take that to a different degree for the rest of us, okay? Are you playing the financial comparison game, looking at others and saying, geez, I've got to have some sort of image, or I enjoy this sort of image, and financially it's creating some strain and some challenges? Let that stuff go. Let that stuff go. It's difficult to try to keep up with the Joneses and compare your financial life to someone else's. You got to make sure you're living within your means. Third big takeaway is be captivated by this idea of investing your money or letting your money work for you, letting your money make money for you. That's the power of compound interest. I would also say it doesn't matter how much money you make, you still need a budget. That's essentially what Travis Kelce said. I mean, and there's different kinds of budgets. Some people need the budget of, okay, I can only spend this much at the grocery store each and every whatever. Other times the budget is, okay, this much is going to be set aside for savings, this much is going to be set aside for future spending, so therefore you get to spend this much today, you spend it however you want, you know what I mean? So there's different types of budgets, but this story illustrates budgets are for everyone. And then finally, if you don't have the skill, the time, or some of the just kind of inherent behavior traits to be great at managing money, hire that out. Work with a certified financial planner who can help guide you and who's trustworthy, who cares about you, wants you to achieve financial freedom, who can help you get from here to there. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can always contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.